Today's second look on Video Reviews is going to cover a film I think you're familiar with. It's a 1995 period epic that's set in Scotland. On one side, a gallant Scotsman who believes in defending the well-being of his people. On the other side is an evil Englishman who loves to sneer and dominate over the Scots. The two come to a clash. The Englishman makes a despicable move, and the Scotsman must become an outlaw, finding ways to combat this English intrusion in the name of his good cause. There's beautiful scenery. There are epic fights. Surely good must find a way to triumph over evil. You know the epic I'm talking about. The one, the only, Rob Roy. What did you think I was going to say? Okay. Obvious comparisons to a Best Picture winner aside, this is a very entertaining film, loosely based on the real-life historical figure Robert Roy McGregor. In many ways, this is an old-school form of storytelling, as we have a noble and honorable hero who loves his wife with a great passion, and he goes up against a selfish antagonist who delights in his own superiority. But it also includes some more modern touches. Rob Roy's morals are given a severe test, and he has to confront the possible limitations of his ideals, and the antagonists are more products of their environment than versions of absolute evil. Throw in good camera work by Carl Walter Lindenlaw, authentic production design by Asheton Gorton, and some fine action choreography by William Hobbs, and you have the makings of a fine epic. Speaking of the characters, I'm going to change things up and start by describing who's who rather than the plot. The title character of Rob Roy is played by Liam Neeson. He balances being a good protector of his community with being a good husband and father, and he makes sure to live up to his moral code.
All men with honor are kings, but not all kings have honor.
What is honor?
Honor is what no man can give you, and none can take away. Honor is a man's gift to himself.
Do women have it?
Women are the heart of honor, and we cherish and protect it in them.
His wife, Mary, is played by Jessica Lange, and far from being a dutiful wife who always stands by her husband's side, this is an active character who will question Robert's motives and sometimes get involved in the action herself.
Take the boys and go to Morax. She'll make a place.
And let Montrose's troopers foul my house.
No harm will come to you. Montrose's quarrel is with me.
And you revel in it. The great man against all. And likely you'll slip down in the night when the mood takes you. Or will you just find yourself a sheep to comfort you?
The aforementioned Marquis of Montrose, played by the late great John Hurt, is an antagonist who likes to keep up appearances and keep others in their place.
I have but lost £1,000. You ask me to risk another.
My lord, the money was stolen from me and from you.
I am no part of your incompetence, McGregor. You signed a paper.
And I will honor it.
Oh, ply me not with your honor, man.
Hang on. Did I say one antagonist? Yeah, in this movie, you get 3. One of Montrose's right-hand men is Killearn, played with an oily temperament by Brian Cox. He enforces the collection of the bills and often condescends the locals.
Tell me, MacDonald, why has a smart young lad like you attached himself to such a bunch of tinkers? I would have thought you were more fit to serve a man like my master, the Marquis of Montrose.
I do not serve Robert McGregor, Killearn. I'm his friend, and count myself fortunate to claim it.
My God, what a crew you Highlanders are. With your airs and honours. Come begging £1,000 as if you're doing the lender a favour.
Another right-hand man to Montrose is Archibald Cunningham, played in an Oscar-nominated turn by Tim Roth. Honestly, I think this is one of the best ever portrayals of a villain. This is a psychopath who lives only for his pleasure and cares nothing about the consequences.
What are these principal sins that distress your mother? Dice? Drink? Or are you a buggerer of boys?
It is years, Your Grace, since I buggered a boy. And in my own defense, I must add, I thought him a girl at the moment of entry.
Yeah, there are some real despicable types in this film. Some of the other performances you get to see include Eric Stoltz as Robert's trustworthy partner MacDonald, Brian McCarty as Robert's impulsive brother Alasdair, and Andrew Kerr as Montrose's rival noble, the Duke of Argyll. It's hard to do justice when describing the plot of the film. In short, it involves Rob Roy borrowing £1,000 from the Marquis of Montrose to help his community, but the money is stolen, resulting in Montrose going after Robert. But director Michael Caton-Jones doesn't concentrate on plot mechanics. He concentrates on the characters, how they inhabit their environment, and how they interact with each other. And the environment is convincingly presented. When we visit the Scottish villages, many of them seem as though they rose out of the earth. They feel very hand-built. Contrast that to the lavish castles the nobles live in with their comely quarters. With filming taking place on location, we get a great sense of the environment. In fact, some of the Scottish locations were so remote, the team had to resort to helicopter for transportation. You're seeing some rare sights here. I wonder if the commitment to authenticity may have inadvertently contributed to the film's mixed reception. The dialogue carries plenty of Scottish and English vernacular, and the film assumes you are familiar with English history. Those familiar with British history circa 1713, particularly the question on what to do with the succession of the throne since Queen Anne had no surviving children, will probably find it easier to follow this scene than others.
I am asked continually on what side your grace will declare himself. Where our guile goes, the path must be firm and broad. And now all watch to see which way to jump. One cannot go to the closet but what some adherent to James is praising your pill.
To be fair, I don't see either the dialogue or the historical component as a detriment to the film. Indeed, I appreciate that Rob Roy assumes its audience is intelligent. Still, for the novice viewer, subtitles and a history book may be a necessity. It can be easy to divide who's quote-unquote good and evil in this film, but the Alan Sharp script does go to great lengths to establish these characters as products of their environment. For example, it is established that Rob Roy used to steal cattle in the past and that his father was once imprisoned by the government, giving Rob an impetus to become a good leader. The villains, as detestable as they are, also have realistic motives. Montrose, being a product of the aristocracy, is concerned with appearance and reputation. Killearn is shown to be an opportunist and thus takes after his superiors. And Cunningham's tendencies are rooted in his upbringing.
Take me away with you.
I am away, Betty. And God help me, this is where I've landed. You think me a gentleman because I have linen and can manage a lift? I am but a bastard abroad, seeking my fortune and the favors of great men. As big a whore as my mother ever was.
The film offers unique action, particularly with its sword fights. Far from being a choreographed clashing of metal, these fights feature characters sizing each other up, pauses in the action, exhaustion becoming a factor, and a genuine sense that the opponents are out to kill one another. No music, no fancy stunt work needed. This is very memorable. I hope you can tell from all of these clips just how finely acted this film is, especially given the high caliber cast. Liam Neeson commands the screen as Rob Roy. No wonder he's earned the respect of a 200-person Scottish village. Tim Roth absolutely deserved his Oscar nomination for being so convincing as the renegade Cunningham. Arguably should have won it too. John Hurt exudes pride and contempt as Montrose. Boy, did we lose a titan of acting back in 2017. And Brian Cox is fearless in manipulating people to his liking. Upon watching this film again, I was struck by the performance given by Jessica Lange as Rob's wife, Mary. This is a tricky role to pull off as she has to display courage and resilience in the face of trauma and shock, and she does go through some very graphic scenes. This is not an easy role, and to her credit, her performance feels authentic.
Swear it. Swear it. Swear it.
I swear. I swear.
And I will hold you to it.
I will grant the film does have a few flaws. Things do come together somewhat quickly near the end, leaving one story component somewhat dangling, and some characters display an unusually good sense of direction for the sake of the plot. But these are minor quibbles. This historical adventure works on several levels, and I commend director Michael Caton-Jones and writer Alan Sharp for pulling it all together. The film admittedly got a mixed reception when it first came out, with some critics calling it a rousing adventure, while others called it old-fashioned and slow-paced. I agree the storytelling is old-fashioned, but honestly, it kind of becomes charming after a while. And again, there's enough complexity to the characters, good and evil, plus the graphic nature of some scenes to give it a more modern bent. And the comment of slow is not something I can agree with. This is a very fast-moving 140 minutes. You can enjoy it for the romance, for the cast, for the setting, or for the swashbuckling action. In short, Rob Roy works on multiple levels and is high-level entertainment.
You must never mistreat a woman or malign a man, nor stand by and see another do so.
Go ahead and leave a comment on what you thought about Rob Roy, and if there's a film you think deserves a second look. My name is Whitaker Martin, and I thank you for watching this installment on Video Reviews. I'll see you next time.